Hey there, welcome to Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host D-Bake. Today we will be previewing PFL 8 2021, which is headlined by Kayla Harrison going up against Genah Fabian. This is going to be a very good main card for you. Last week, of course, was PFL 7, and they put on a great show, which was headlined by Ray Cooper and Rory McDonald. Let's hope that this one lives up to that hype. But before we get started with the action, I just want to let you guys know about this podcast, which is Cage by IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at the handles to the left. And we are part of the Fighters First Network. So if you could go to the at Fighters First on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and then also hit the like button on the video and give us your feedback on what you think of the predictions, and even send us some comments on who you think is going to win on PFL 8. And then, as always, we have merch. So all you got to do to check out the merch is go to fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, and then check out the shirt that we have, three different styles, and then also check out a hoodie that we have out with fall coming up in the next month or two. Don't hesitate to get your hoodie now for the cold weather. As always, let's get started with the predictions for PFL 8 2021. And the first fight that we have on tap is in a heavyweight semifinal matchup between Denis Goltsov going up against Ante Delija. This is going to be a fun one. These two are both strikers slash grapplers that also wrestle. Ante Delija is more of a wrestler that looks to get down and ground and pound you, and then he also looks for submissions. He had a ground and pound victory in his last out bout against Chandler Cole, and then of course in his first fight he didn't have such good outcome where he lost to Bruno Cappelozza in his first fight. But and then you got Denis Goltsov, who's coming off of two victories where he's coming off a knockout victory, and then in his last fight he had a nice ground and pound victory over Brandon Sale, who was the tall guy, and he was able to just basically use his sambo wrestling to get him on the ground, pressure him, and then he basically just limited what Sale could do with his leg kicks and his size, and he just beat him up until he finished him. And I think in this matchup, I think it's going to become relevant that Ante Delija is going to want to get to the ground and get goals up there to limit what he can do with his legs, and then just try and lock him up in a submission or ground and pound him. Whereas I think Denis Goltsov has more of a wider range of tactics that he can do. He can use the sambo to get Ante Delija down to the ground, pressure him down there, keep him down there, and then just hit him here and there, and then see if he can submit him, or he can stay up on the feet, stay within distance, throw those leg kicks that he likes to throw that will damage him over time, and then he can even knock him out. Like he has one or two knockouts, but uh, he can use those tactics. And I think in this one, I think it's going to be more of the Denis Goltsov is going to be able to clinch him against the fence, throw those leg kicks, and throw the knees and elbows, and if he needs to, then he'll get the fight to the ground. And at the end of the day, for this one, I got Denis Goltsov win this by unanimous decision. I think with the level of grappling that and wrestling that Ante Delija has, he's not going to be susceptible in any of the things on the ground and the clinch that Denis Goltsov can usually get people to get fooled by and then submitted by. But I think when it comes down to it, the volume from the legs, the ones and twos of Denis Goltsov are way better than that of Ante Delija. So I got Denis Goltsov by unanimous decision over Ante Delija in the semifinal matchup of the heavyweight division of PFL. And the next matchup we have on here, we have a women's lightweight semifinals matchup between Larissa Pacheco going up against Taylor Guardado. Of course, Larissa Pacheco is very well known in PFL. She won her first two fights by knockout, ground and pound in the first round, which gave her the number one of the top seeds in this tournament alongside Kayla Harrison. That's the inevitable matchup that everybody thinks is going to happen is Pacheco versus Harrison again. She wants that revenge, so I think she's going to come in guns blazing in this matchup. But she basically has a wrestling background with Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu on her side, and you've seen her this past PFL tournament where you've seen a lot of improvement from her striking, where she can stand up and trade with the combinations that she can throw, and then the end game with that is to stun her opponent, get them to the ground, and then win by ground and pound. That's usually her way of victory is by ground and pound, and then she does have a few submissions here and there. Whereas Taylor Guardado is going to be the fighter that wants to keep it on her feet. She has that kickboxing background, and she's going to want to stay within distance, throw those kicks, throw those strikes, and then just keep on moving to keep Pacheco from clinching up with her. And at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be able to happen because Pacheco has that experience, has that just power, and then the mobility to get to Guardado, clinch it up, and then eventually get the fight to the ground. If you look at Pacheco's history, she's fought some tough people like Irene Aldana and whatnot. Even Kayla Harrison a couple times. The one fight with Kayla Harrison was really good before she wound up losing. But I just think that she's going to get the fight to the ground with our tactics, and then eventually she's going to win by ground and pound over Taylor Guardado. I think it's going to be round 3. I think Guardado is going to be able to keep the fight on the feet for a little bit, and then the second round, I think she's going to be able to move around more. I think Pacheco is going to stay a little bit reserved, and in the third round, I think she's going to explode in, get the takedown, and then win by ground and pound. That's going to send her to the finals of the lightweight women's lightweight division of the PFL. So once again, I got Larissa Pacheco defeating Taylor Guardado by round 3 TKO ground and pound. In the co-main event of the evening, we have a men's heavyweight matchup between Bruno Cappelozza versus Jamelle Jones in the semifinals of the men's heavyweight tournament. This is going to be a really fun matchup. You got two guys that are just like throw heavy knockout power punches, and then also are big guys. And this is a matchup that we didn't think that was going to happen when the whole PFL tournament started this year, since Jamelle Jones was a late add-on for the second bouts back in June due to someone getting injured after the first bouts in April. But first, we got Bruno Cappelozza. He's a knockout artist. He's one of the best strikers in the division, and he can strike with his hands. He throws very good combinations. He has really good speed for his height. He throws nice leg kicks that he can throw to the legs, the body, and the head. He tries to use the leg kicks to get you stunned, and then he finishes off with the punches that he throws. And then he can either clinch with you and then hit you with the knees and elbows. But his main thing is knocking out his opponents. He never gets past the first round because he never needs to because of his knockout power. And he's definitely going to be the favorite in this matchup. But then you got Jamelle Jones. He's a CFFC veteran. He came in on short notice for the second round of fights, and he was able to win by ground and pound against his opponent, and which put him in the 4th spot of the PFL heavyweight playoffs. And he's well known for his wrestling and his grappling. He's going to be the shorter guy coming in, and I could see him using that to his advantage, where he's going to duck in under those punches of Bruno Cappelozza and then go for the takedowns. Bruno does have pretty good takedown defense, but there's a difference between defending a guy who can just take people down and defend an actual wrestler who's trying to take you down. And I think with that wrestling background, Jamelle Jones is going to be able to take him down and then basically minimizing what Bruno Cappelozza can do. And then his striking is very underrated. Like I said, almost all Jamelle Jones' victories are by wrestling his opponent, getting him down to the ground, and then beating him by ground and pound. And this might sound crazy, but I'm going with the upset in this matchup. I think Jamelle Jones is going to win by a unanimous decision in this fight. I don't think he's going to win by ground and pound, but I do think he's going to minimize Bruno on the feet. I think he's going to try and get the fight down to the ground as much as possible. He's going to take him down 2, 3, maybe 4 times, and then lay and pray for a little bit, and then just throw strikes, get the strikes in there, get the volume count up. He might get tested a couple of times in the second or third round because I don't think he's going to be able to do this forever. But I think he's going to withstand it. It's going to be difficult for him to do that because of his chin. He has a suspect chin. So I can bet everybody's going to go on Bruno Cappelozza by a first round knockout. But for me, I'm going with the chance that Jamelle Jones is going to be able to wrestle and be successful at it. And at the end of the day, I got Jamelle Jones upsetting Bruno Cappelozza in the semifinals by unanimous decision victory, which is going to move him to the finals of the tournament. And the main event of the evening on PFL 8, we got a women's lightweight matchup between Kayla Harrison going up against Genah Fabian. This is going to be a great fight in a semifinals matchup to see who fates the winner of Larissa Pacheco and her opponent, Taylor Guardado. In this matchup, it's, of course, we got Kayla Harrison, who has that big judo, Muay Thai background, and she also knows jiu-jitsu. But it's basically her wrestling and submission game that's going to be the big factor in this fight, because she can get you from anywhere. She has the speed, she has the strength, and then you've seen her in the past couple fights, and even in her Invicta spell that she had in November down in featherweight, that she can throw elbows and throw strikes and finish people with her striking, which has been improving fight to fight the past couple of years. But she's going to be tested by Fabian, who's going to have the height advantage in this matchup. She has that kickboxing, Muay Thai background where she can stay at length, throw the leg kicks. She can throw the kicks to the leg, to the body, and to the head. And then she has that underrated boxing striking that she can do. She's not a boxer, but she makes it look like she's boxed by how she throws. And in this fight, that's going to be her big ticket to try and get a victory, is but just keep the space between them wide open, come in, throw a leg kick, come back out, and then just keep that up, and then keep Kayla Harrison from getting close to her and only going in when she knows that she can get in and get out, and kind of do like a decision type victory. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be able to happen, because I think Kayla Harrison is very smart. She knows what her opponents can do, and she tries to minimize any advantage that they have. And in this one, I think Kayla Harrison's going to rush in. She's going to get the fight in the clinch as soon as possible. She's going to be able to take down Fabian at will. And if she has to, she'll just stand in front of her and trade shots with her. She won't care about that. But I think at the end of the day, I could see this going past round one. And a lot of people are going to say round one knockout in this one. But to me, I think Fabian's going to get out of the first round. I think it's going to go into the second round. And I think Kayla Harrison's going to take her down like she did in the first round. But in this one, I feel like she's going to win by a second round armbar submission. I think that's been her way of victory, and I think it's going to continue. At the end of the day, like I just said, in this women's lightweight matchup, I got Kayla Harrison defeating Genah Fabian by second round armbar submission. That wraps things up for this week's PFL 8 2021 preview show, which is headlined by Kayla Harrison going up against Genah Fabian. As always, this is Cage My IQ, the best place at MMA content. Before I get going, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors. The first sponsor is 99 Jersey. Use promo code SportsBoxShow20 at checkout to receive 20% off your next purchase of all the jerseys that they have in stock. Then we got Oddsjam. All you got to do is go to the link in the bio. click the link, sign up, and watch as you never use the bet again. Oddsjam is a site that it shows you the different odds, and they change, and they help you pick the best odd for the best score that you're looking for. And then, like I said before, all you got to do is sign up and watch as you never miss a bet again. And lastly, we got High Tide Herbal. High Tide Herbal is a company owned by coaches and athletes that specialize in speedy recovery. All the products have CBD oil in them to help with that speedy recovery. That they pride themselves on helping athletes out to get back on the field, the court, or wherever they play on. And so all you got to do is go to hightideherbal.com. Use promo code CageMyIQ10 at checkout and watch as you receive 10% off your next purchase. Once again, this was Cage by IQ with the preview show. You can tune in later this week for the recap of PFL 8 2021, headlined by Kayla Harrison versus Genah Fabian. We thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube page, and give us a comment on who you think is going to win on the main card. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in.